What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. The perk system in Jedi Survivor is one of the game's best new features. There's a lot of really cool perks that give you some strong passive boosts, but you only start the game with 3 perk slots, which makes it tough choosing which perks you want to equip. Today we're going over where to find 7 additional perk slots, maxing out at 10, so that you can take more perks with you and have every advantage you can. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and let's get into it. There's 4 slots we can find on Koboh, and we can get 2 of them really early on. The first one is the easiest to get by far. You just have to buy this one at Z's shop, so you can get this pretty much right after your first mission on Koboh. The perk slot is just going to cost you 10 data discs. You can find these laying around the different High Republic structures on the planet, so it takes a little bit of exploring, but once you have 10, find Z on the top floor of Pyloon Saloon, and you can buy the first perk slot from her. These next 2 are really convenient because, assuming you're far enough in the story, you can actually pick them up back to back. To get this second slot, you just need to have tamed the Nekkos, those chocobo bird things that you can ride around. They're great for getting around the map, and this little quest requires them, so you can do this right after your first visit to the forest array. We're starting at Fort Collin. You don't need the Nekko just yet, I'm just taking it for speed. From the meditation point, go straight under this little bridge and then take this right. Either fight these bedlams or just go past them. I didn't have this shortcut unlocked at the time, so cut this rope if you haven't yet, and then keep following the path down in this direction until you get to this circular area called Harvest Ridge. This is where you recruit that DJ pair for the cantina. Across from you, you'll see a little bogling on top of a device, and you have to tame it to get it to move. Then force pull this rope and attach it to the device the bogling was on, and you can go inside the cave here. Once you come out through the small space, you'll have to go down this little water slide, and when you get to the bottom, you'll be in this room with a pretty easy puzzle. You have to get up there, but you can't jump high enough. There's a gate to your right, but we'll go this way instead because we need to save this Nekko from this pack of gorgers. Take them out and then ride the Nekko over to the gate and park it right here. You can then run back around to the other side of the gate and pull the rope to you to raise it. Then while you're holding the rope, you can call the Nekko to your side. Use the Nekko to jump up to that high point that you couldn't get to before, and follow this cute little bogling to these walls that you can jump up. We are almost at that perk slot. When you get to the top, you'll see a red barn here. Cut the rope if you want to activate the shortcut, and then come around to this path here on this side and take out the bedlams and the droids that are hanging out. You need to get into the barn, but the gate is shut, so come around to the right side and you'll find these 2 Nekkos chilling here. Ride one to the front of the barn, and then you can jump up to these walls and use them to run to the other side. The perk slot is pulling an Obi-Wan up there on that high ground, but we can't get it ourselves. We need to get a Nekko up here to help us out, so turn around and pull on this broken part of the wall, and then you can drop to the ground floor of the barn. There is an echo in here that you can sense if you want, and then use the force to pull this rope here, and that will lift the front gate. We're gonna do this several times. Same as before, call that same Nekko over to you while you're still holding the rope, and then you can use it to jump to this higher platform. From here, once again open the gate, and you can attach the rope to the wall here, jump back down, and go outside and grab that other Nekko that's hanging out, and you want to position him right here on this ramp. Go back to Nekko number 1 and use him to jump back up onto that platform and undo the rope to lower the gate. Then take Nekko number 2 and position him on that lift. Nekko number 1 is going to get us up here one last time so we can grab that rope and lift up Nekko number 2, and we have everything set up from this point. Use the grapple point that's across from you to get to the other side, and then ride Nekko number 2 through that hole in the wall you busted and use it to jump up to that high ground, and the perk slot will be waiting right there. We can get the next perk slot right after this, but we need the item that lets us pass through those green laser gates, so we gotta be deep enough in the story. This one is located in this weird gray fortress-looking building at Rambler's Reach, and normally you can't get in from the front door, so we have to infiltrate from the roof. We'll start from where we just got that new perk slot because there's a meditation point here that we should hit anyway. Grapple up here and climb the vines all the way to the top of the tower. It's a really nice lookout spot, and we can use this meditation point to equip a new perk if we want, and this way you can just fast travel back to this point when you get that item that lets you pass through the lasers. What we're gonna do is take this flyer all the way back down to Rambler's Reach from right here, and we're gonna try to land on top of that gray building so we can get inside. When you land on it, try to aim for the highest point. There's a priorite shard here that you can grab. If you drop down to the roof and come to this side of the building, you can fall in here, and now we can get inside and unlock the front door, and there's even another shard to collect. Go through the laser gate and then drop through this trap door, and we'll be in this dark space. Go all the way to the end. There's a few gorgers in here that will attack you, but they're not a big threat. Go through this opening in the wall here, and on the other side will be another laser gate. Jump through it to hit this wall, and one final laser gate later, and you'll have one more perk slot available. If you open this shortcut, you'll end up in the Smuggler's tunnels, which should look familiar. There's one last perk slot on Koboh. For this one, you need the Force Lift and Slam abilities, so it's a little bit later in the story. We're gonna fast travel to the Southern Reach meditation point, right next to our giant friend here. Use Force Slam to drop this wall, and then you can run to the other side. And on the right, there's this chalice-shaped thing that we can drop with Slam. Jump up on it to get to this higher level, and then you'll run into a Bedlam Raider who's got some droids backing him up. Take them out, there will be a droideka that comes out to ambush you, and then you can come over to the left side here and you'll see a wall of Koboh matter and one of those High Republic orbs. Grab the orb and carry it over to the edge, jump to the other side, and then pull it back to you, and you can put it in the device here. That will turn on this beam that gets rid of that wall of Koboh matter, and you can go in. There's a terminal in here for BD to slice, and that will release a roller mine. You have to use these mines to destroy that wall that's across from you. Just try to get as close as possible. It took me a few mines before finding the sweet spot, but it's not that hard. Then after you hit it, go back outside to where you just blew up that chunk of wall, and you'll see these walls that you can run on. Before you hit them though, use BD's grinder to shoot that goo at the base of the beam. Create a line that goes all the way up to the Koboh matter that's up here, and burn it away, and now your path to the perk slot is completely open. Run on the walls and then climb to the top here, go left, and the perk slot is just outside this opening. The last 3 perk slots are all on Jedha, and we can get them all back to back to back, so let's travel there. And we're gonna start at the Arid Flats meditation point. You'll need the grapple hook upgrade in order to get one of these, so I recommend waiting until you have that upgrade, then you can come back to Jedha and get all 3 perk slots at once. From the Arid Flats meditation point, you can see that structure that's not too far off. Take one of the spammels here over to it, and you can climb all the way up. This is a place called Wayfinder's Tomb, and no, it has nothing to do with those things in The Rise of Skywalker. In the middle here, there's this door that's sealed up, and surrounding you are 3 short pillars. If you look in the distance past these pillars, you'll see a huge building that lines up with each one. We have to visit all 3 of those buildings to get the perk slots. There's a small puzzle at each location. We'll start with the one at the Path of Conviction because I think this one is the hardest. Use the grapple balloons on the left here to make your way up to the top of the building, fighting off troopers as you go. There's also a really nice cosmetic pickup here, some wooden materials for your weapons, and it gives them a really nice finish. When you get to the top, you'll want to cut this rope for the shortcut, but if you look down over to the other side, you'll see the puzzle. You have to use the Force to push and pull these balls that change the layout in the cliffs, and the goal is to get one of the balls up to the very top. This one is tricky because it's on a timer, but if you follow this exact order of pushes and pulls, you'll eventually get it. So we start at this ball here. If we pull it, that will lower the first part of the layout, but now the timer is on, so we have to be fast. Grapple onto the balloon and get to the other side and then push this other ball now. That will bring out a new section of wall in front of us. Before we jump to it though, we have to go back to that first ball and pull it one more time. Now grapple over to that new section of wall we just pulled out. Pull the ball that's up here and immediately drop to the lower level. Push the ball here on your way down. Grapple back to the balloon one more time and then jump over here, and now when you push this ball, it should go all the way to the top where you need it to be. It's a little confusing at first. Like I said, it's on a timer, so you have to be fast, but if you can manage this puzzle, the other 2 will be light work. When the ball gets to the top, it'll be on this beam here. Push it one final time and you'll see this structure in front of you drop while the matching pillar at Wayfinder's Tomb rises. After that, a set of stairs will open up here, and that's your new perk slot just waiting to be claimed. The other 2 are much easier. It's just going to take a while because we have to go across the desert. So get back on your spammel, and this time we're going to go to the Path of Restoration, kind of close to where the Golden Skriton is. We're going to go over here to this big rock. It's got a rough side that we can hold on to and climb up. When you get to the top, you can keep jumping across these rocks to get higher up, and when you finally get to the puzzle, you'll notice that there's a big chunk of it that's missing and stopping the ball from getting up to the top. Luckily, this one is not as hard as the last because it's not on a timer. We have to wall run over to this other side here, and this is the first ball that we need to push. This will change the layout and give us a completed path for the second ball, so come back over to this side and push this one now, and that will lower the wall across from us that we can climb up. When we get up to the top, there's going to be another ball inside this chamber. Push it, and that will move the last piece of the cliff that we need. Go back down and push the ball that's right there at the base of where you just climbed. This will get it set up for the last push. Go back and wall run across that wall again. Push the first ball we hit, and that will set up the path we need. Push ball number 2 one last time, and you'll send it all the way to the top. There's a zip line a little bit past the wall run, so take that up to where the ball went, do that last push on that beam, and then the stairway containing the second Jedha perk slot will open up for you. The last one is at the Path of Persistence, and this one is really easy. It just takes a bit of climbing and 2 pushes to complete the puzzle. Take the zipline and make your way to the structure. As usual, you'll have to fight stormtroopers stationed here. The first thing you want to do is go all the way to the top where this lone trooper is admiring the view. There's a ball up here that will move a section of wall in front of you, and that one change will fully complete the path that you need. Go back down this way, hit the zipline to the bottom, and you'll see the ball that you need to push to the top. Make your way over to it and push it, and you'll send it all the way to the top of the structure. If you go back up to that first ball that you pulled and move it back to where it was, this will shift that section of wall back, and now you can wall run and wall jump all the way up and do that final push. Once that pillar at Wayfinders rises up, the last set of stairs will open, and you'll have your 10th perk slot. There's also a huge upgrade for your map and a secret lightsaber if you head back over to Wayfinders and head into that sealed door, so don't forget to do that too. But that is all 7 perk slots in Jedi Survivor. Thank you guys for checking out the video. I hope it helped you out. If it did, don't forget to drop a like and consider subscribing and getting notified for more Jedi Survivor videos. That's going to do it from me. Take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.